welcome to something to talk about.
Hi, welcome to something to talk about. Welcome to Frey Week 3. And we're talking about Walder Rivers today. This is my Walder Frey Week. Talking Big Walder, talking Walder Rivers, I'm talking Black Walder later on. Tomorrow, actually. If my little scheme actually happens and they play in the order I want them to, then it's Friday right now and we're talking Walder Rivers. If you don't know what's going on, this is what's going on. So possible spoilers, by the way, for the Song of Ice and Fire series. And also, if you're wondering why I'm wearing a Vikings jersey, how are the Vikings doing? I'm filming this in a time when they're 8-2. They're still really good. They literally won today, and that's why I was wearing this. So I figured I'd still wear it. And that's a gamble because this is coming out in late December. They might have had nothing but a losing streak since then. You don't know. The Vikings. Who knows? Right? Okay. Let's go, guys. Walder Rivers. Bastard Walder. So Walder Rivers, also known as Bastard Walder, is a knight and the eldest of the Lord Walder Frey's bastard. So this is Old Man Walder, not to be confused with the other Walders. He is married to a lady of House Charlton, and he has 2 children, Walda and Aemon. Yeah, Aemon Rivers. Walder's personal coat of arms is a silver gray castle on blue, right? So it's the reverse colors of House Frey with the red Ben Sinister. So it's like reverse Frey with a red cross out. It's a cool way to do like a bastard one, right? In the television adaptation Game of Thrones, Walder Rivers is not present as a standalone character, but he is merged with Black Walder Frey as Black Walder Rivers, who is portrayed by Tom Plester. Black Walder Frey isn't just a mix of these two. He is a stand-in for mostly all Freys, like a lot of the Freys. He kills Catelyn just like Raymond Frey. He's at the Siege of Riverrun, and he eventually gets made into pie. So he's like a combination of a lot of Freys. So that being said, he is nothing like any singular Frey. I'm going to say this on my Frey video tomorrow too, but he wasn't worth doing a what's the difference for, right? Because a lot of times I do let's talk about the differences where I come talk about the 2 characters and compare them. He is very little like Walder Rivers, and he is even more little like Black Walder Frey. So it's just better for me to cover these 2 and never cover him. This is me explaining that, and I'll explain this again in my video for tomorrow. All right, cool. Let's talk about House Frey. House Frey. House Frey, the Crossing, is a noble house of the Riverlands. Their main seat is the Twins, a pair of castles on each bank of the northern green fork of the Trident, and they serve as a vital bridge of crossing the river. The Lord of the house is called the Lord of the Crossing. Their sigil is 2 blue towers united on a bridge on silver gray, representing the twins. So now you guys see, now you're looking at the twins sigil, or the Frey sigil, you see his bastard Frey sigil. You see how they're reversed, but with the red, right? Cool. Yeah, it's cool. All right, so let's talk about actual Walder Rivers. Walder is cynical and sour. Thank you. Walder is gruff, dour, and has gray hair. He has the same suspicious face of his father, Lord Walder Frey. Though not a true-born Frey, Bastard Walder is often put in positions of responsibility due to his strong reputation as a warrior. The cynical knight has cold courtesy and is resentful of his bastard status. Catelyn considers him harsh and sour, and lame Luther Frey explains that his half-brother has a soldier's bluntness. He uses a modest tent when he is on campaign. Yeah, his tent isn't fancy. Little is known about Walder's mother besides the fact that she died after falling from a horse. When Chet is caught for murder in Seven Streams, the character Chet, Walder was sent from the twins to judge him. Chet ended up being sent to the wall in the company of Yoren. Yeah, there's that. There's some random Chet knowledge for you guys today. You didn't think you were going to get that, did you? Meeting with King Robb. After the death of House Tully, many bannermen gather for the funeral. Lame Luther Frey and Walder Rivers have come to Riverrun to negotiate a meeting between Robb and old Lord Walder Frey that Robb and Catelyn hope will restore their alliance. Yeah, because everyone's mad at them. So this is he comes in a lot later than other Freys, right? So this is already after they made the agreement that Robb marries one of them, and they take all this big agreements for them to cross the river. This is way after that. And this is even after they went into the Westerlands with a bunch of Freys and the huge Northern Army in Battle of Box Cross and all the scouring of the Westerlands, right? This is after that. And this is even after Robb marries his wife, Jane Westerling. So at this point, all that's already happened, and there's already been a giant rift thanks to this marriage between House Stark and House Frey. So Lame Luther is showing up with Walder Rivers to kind of have a discussion of how do we solve this? How do we break the tension? How do we bring the alliance back in? So yeah, that's what's going on. Okay, so Walder commands the 40-strong escort of Luther Frey on this trip south to Riverrun, where Luther is to treat with Robb Stark. So yeah, he's commanding the men during this little excursion, this little meeting. He is quiet and curt during the supper with King Robb Stark, Lord Edmure Tully, and Catelyn Tully. At dinner, Luther tells them that his father received word from Little Walder and Big Walder that at the Dreadfort that Winterfell has been burned and Roderick Cassel killed. Luther remarks that the bastard of Bolton rescued the survivors from Winterfell, to Catelyn's disbelief. Yeah, this is when they're like, oh, by the way, Little Walder Frey and Big Walder Frey wrote us a letter saying that Theon burned Winterfell. We talked about this on Tuesday. Burned Winterfell, and Roose Bolton, the heroic Ramsay Bolton, the heroic Ramsay Bolton. Everyone knows he's pretty much a superhero, right? Wears a cape and everything. Goes in to save the two Little Walders. And Catelyn's like, what? I don't really believe you. Yeah. Luther brings his father's terms that Robb appear in person to offer apology, and that Edmure marries Rosalind Frey immediately. Yeah, you guys need to come back to the twins. Robb needs to apologize, and Edmure needs to marry a Frey. Robb dismisses Luther and Bastard Walder, and then Edmure balks at not being able to choose his wife. The Blackfish reminds him that he must make amends for his blunder at the Battle of the Ford. Yeah. Blackfish is like, dude, shut up. You already been messing up. Stop messing up. Edmure, that's what Blackfish says. Verbatim, actually. A wedding. What kind of a wedding? Well, I'll tell you. What color is this wedding? Well, stay tuned. Robb, Catelyn, and his host head north to the twins for Edmure's wedding. Robb's host approaches the twins in the rain. Catelyn cautions Robb again about offending. Yeah, don't offend old Walder Frey, and advises him to ask for food and wine as soon as they arrive to get guests right. Yeah, we don't trust Walder Frey. Get some guests right. Walder Rivers accompanies Luther on his meeting with Robb outside of the gate. So this is a different meeting, but is much less friendly than his half-brother. Lame Luther comes up saying that he must fear the water and offering to give them... What? Oh my God. Lame Luther comes up saying that he must fear the water. I don't know what that means. And offering to give him over to the Master of Hounds. All right. But Robb has Sir Reynold stay with Grey Wind instead. I'm not sure what I wrote. That must be a typo. But yeah, he's like, do you want to get rid of Grey Wind? And he's like, no. We'll stay with him. Robb enters the Great Hall where Lord Walder and his 8th wife, Joyous await. Lord Walder Frey is relentless and veiled in his insults against Robb, making it clear that the king betrayed him by breaking the solemn oath. Robb apologizes, and then Rosalind is brought out. She is far more beautiful. She is by far the most beautiful of Walders get. That's a weird way of saying that. After Edmure meets the soon-to-be bride, Catelyn asks the Lord of the Crossing for some food. And he says, bread and salt, of course. And the old man welcomes them as guests to his table. Guess right, it doesn't do them much good, because during the wedding, old Walder red weddings Robb. So during the red wedding, yeah, he does a red wedding. So yeah, what kind of wedding is this? A red one. So Bastard Walder commands the attack on the soldiers' camp. I can't talk. You guys are just going to have to keep dealing with me stumbling and mumbling and my awful typos. All right. Siege of Riverrun. So yeah, so the red wedding happens. Now we're skipping forward to the Siege of Riverrun. Walder is present. So Walder Rivers is present at the Siege of Riverrun, where he has a modest tent, like I told you before. He participates in the heated stalemate that plagues the besieging army's command. Yeah, they're not getting anything done. They're not doing too well at sieging. Jaime Lannister arrives to lift the siege. He's here to do something, right? He's going to end this. After a failed meeting with the Blackfish, Jaime calls a meeting with the Riverrun lords, Freys and others. Yeah, he's like, all right, let's have a little meeting. The lords of the Riverlands, who have now bent the knee to the Iron Throne, do not tolerate the Frey's presence at the War Council. Sir Ryman is too drunk to attend, but Edwin and Bastard Walder are present. When confronted by Lord Clement Piper to the condition of their son, Sir Mark Piper, Edwin replies that he is still held at the twins to assure that Pink Maiden is true and loyal to the Iron Throne. When Bastard Walder and Lord Clement nearly come to blows, when Piper challenges Edwin to a duel over a threat, to the Lord Clement's heir, Jaime silences them. Yeah, like it almost gets bloody. The war room. There's no fighting in the war room. Yeah, it almost gets bloody, ending the council prematurely after Edmure arranges for the surrender of Riverrun. Walder informs Jaime that Edwin's father, Sir Ryman Frey, was hanged by outlaws near Fairmarket, which is really close to the twins. Edwin is convinced that their own brother, Black Walder Frey, is responsible for the death. We'll get to that later. But Bastard Walder points out that there is no proof, right? And then he also tells Jaime that Sir Reynold Westerling is presumed dead from the Red Wedding. So, yeah, there you guys go. Not too much. Not really too much for Bastard Walder. He's at the siege, but he's not like running it, and he's kind of like around. Definitely out of my phrase for Frey Week, he is one of the ones with the less amount, right? So yeah, Justice Soldier. He surprisingly doesn't have too much on him. Like I said, I did find a Reddit post on TJIF. Thank God it's Frey Day is apparently a thing that happens on the Reddit. Bastard Walder Rivers by Black Table Girl or Glass Table Girl. It is from 7 years ago. It's a 7-year-old post. The post is pretty good and breaks down Walder Rivers about as well as I just did here, and maybe even a little better, and his part in the books. That's kind of all I found. So yeah, if you want to read more about him, there's that post. I think he is cruel. I don't think he's cruel or evil. I just think he's a cold warrior for the Freys. And yeah, he does what he's told. Doesn't really think too much. You know, hey, we're going to do a red wedding, go kill people. All right, that's what I do. You know, and I don't think that he's cunning and good at lying. And I think that's why he stays silent for most of this. Most of the time, Luther's like talking. He's like, so what do you guys think of this? And Luther's like kind of lying through his teeth. Like, yeah, My father would love to meet up with you guys. And I think the reason why Walder Rivers stays quiet is because he's not a good liar. He's not cunning. He's straightforward. So it's just better if he just shuts up and lets the red wedding happen around him, and then he does his duty. Do I hate him? No. Is he the worst Frey? No. Is he a wet blanket of a character? Yeah, he's just a soldier. Yeah, there you guys go. Let Frey Week continue tomorrow morning. We're talking Black Walder Rivers, or Black Walder Frey, the other side of the Black Walder Rivers coin. So, yeah, that's it, guys. Peace.